again.
And what would you do to promote equal rights for all workers, regardless of race, gender, national origin, or immigration status? Brad Avakian.
Well, this is a question that means an awful lot to me as somebody who was a civil rights lawyer prosecuting these kind of cases. And now as Commissioner of Labor and Industries actually running the State Civil Rights Division, one of the first things I did as your labor commissioner is created the Oregon Council on Civil Rights. And the first task I gave them was to create an action plan to create equal pay for equal work in this state and wage disparity based on these protected classes. I want to pass the Employment Non-Discrimination Act that we have here in Oregon at the federal level. And I want strong enforcement at the federal level, protecting workers when their civil rights are violated, just like I've done here in Oregon. Since I've been labor commissioner, we've put more than $11.5 million in the pockets of workers who have been treated unfairly on the job. That's the kind of aggressive action I want to see at the federal level.
Suzanne Bonamici.
Well, I support civil rights for all. It's that simple. I supported the anti-discrimination laws in Oregon, and I know that's only part of the battle. I know we have to continue to fight efforts that are underway to erode civil rights, and I will stand up for equal rights for all workers. Brad
Witt.
Once again, we need to put teeth in our federal laws. We need to make it a priority that everyone in this country has an equal opportunity to achieve the very best that he or she can, and all options and opportunities are available to every single person, and that if these opportunities are denied, significant penalties are going to be paid.
And what's your opinion of U.S. military intervention in the Middle East and their impact on the working class? Brad Avakian.
The two are directly connected. We've spent over $1 trillion on these conflicts and are continuing to spend billions and billions of dollars on 3 wars that have no end in sight. I want our troops brought home immediately, and I want that money redirected into training programs and public education and job creation that supports the American family.
Suzanne Bonamici.
I have respect for the troops who have been fighting, but we really need to bring them home. But importantly, Jamie, what we need is to make sure that we're ensuring a transition that provides services and especially health care for the troops when they come home, giving them enough time to readjust to life here and helping with that transition. There's a greater chance that the troops will be successful once they come back home. But we need to bring the troops home, and there are a lot of things we can do in our own country with the money we're spending overseas.
Brad Witt.
We've made a very dramatic mistake in terms of becoming involved in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. We need to end the wars. We need to bring our troops back home immediately. We should take the money that we would be saving from not engaging in that conflict. We should use that money to begin paring down our nation's debt and putting our nation back on track to a balanced budget.
And how would you help rein in the power of transnational corporations and strengthen the global workers' movement? Brad Avakian.
Well, and this gets back to making those corporations pay their fair share. When Wall Street corporations have loopholes that let them hide their money in offshore accounts and not pay in, when the top 2% in this country aren't paying their fair share, and it's the working family that has to carry the burden, that's not right. And the corporations in this country have got to pay their fair share, and it's Congress that has the power to make that happen.
Suzanne Bonamici.
Well, I know that we can use trade agreements to leverage and improve working conditions and environmental practices, and that's what I'll be looking for when I'm making decisions on any trade agreements that may come before me in Congress.
Brad Witt.
The power of global corporations needs to be matched by the power of the global trade union movement. And I think the Steelworkers Union has led the way in many respects in their effort to make connections with metal unions across the world. Similar things have been done by the machinists. Similar things have been done by the Longshoremen's Union, where they have made it so that corporations within their industries, within their sector, cannot run from one continent to another, trying to seek out cheaper labor or to be able to exploit foreign workforces, one workforce against another, literally whipsawing the international labor movement. Those unions have forged relationships with their counterparts overseas, and taking the corporations may run, but they're going to continue to face global opposition by a united international labor front. And the labor movement has to undertake that action. Here at home, international corporations have an ability to contribute unlimited amounts of money into American politics, oftentimes without that money being reported as to its origin. We need to put an end to that here in the United States as well. And as a nation, we must commit to protecting our national sovereignty, and that includes attacks by international and global capital.
And will you co-sponsor H.R. 676, the National Single Payer Medicare for All Act? And if not, why not? Brad Avakian.
Yes. You know, the President and Congress passed a health care act in recent years. It was a very small step in the right direction. I'm going to Congress for the people out there that need to have health care that can't even get it under the current act. We need a strong public option to compete with these insurance companies and cover more people. And yes, H.R. 676 is a worthy effort, and I'm happy to support it.
Suzanne Bonamici.
Yes, but I think that probably more realistically, the first step is to have a strong public option and work toward a single payer eventually. But I would be willing to look at that at the 676 and sponsor that, but that can't be the only thing we do. We need to work on other ways to make healthcare more accessible and more affordable, beginning with a strong public option.
Brad Witt.
Absolutely, I would. I would be pleased and proud to be able to do so.
You're listening to KBOO 90.7 FM, Labor Radio. Your host, Jamie Partridge. We're interviewing candidates for U.S. Congress, Oregon District 1, Labor Commissioner Brad Avakian, State Senator Suzanne Bonamici, and State Representative Brad Witt. What else would you like to tell our listeners about how you would advance the interests of workers as a U.S. Congressperson? 1 minute. Brad Avakian.
Well, I want folks to know that I'm going to Congress for them. I'm a guy that rolls up his sleeves, I work hard, I get the job done. Just like I did in Oregon when I passed the Oregon Renewable Energy Act that's made us a leader in the creation of green jobs. Just like I did when I supported the right to organize and bargain in this state. Just like I've done as labor commissioner with a strong minimum wage and strong prevailing wages. I'm going to Congress for you.
Suzanne Bonamici.
Well, I've been firm in my support in the Oregon legislature of the right to organize and the right to collectively bargain. I have appreciation for the historical role, of course, that unions have played in creating the middle class and that they currently have in maintaining the middle class during these economic times. And I have a very strong background in standing up for consumers and consumer rights. And that's all an important part of making sure that people are not victims of tricks and scams in the marketplace, too. In addition to workers' rights, I also support the rights of people to be free from scams and being taken advantage of by those who don't play by the rules.
Brad Witt.
I guess I would use an example, the legislation that fought for so strenuously as a state representative. I passed House Bill 3339. It was a 20-year-long effort provide unemployment insurance benefits